Yeah, this would be a pain to actually swap the parts for, so if you want to go see what the normal Gelgoog looks like, go watch my old Shara's Gelgoog review. It's literally the same kit in different colors. Hello and welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the High Grade Gelgoog Cannon. And starting off as always with the articulation. The head is a ball joint going down into the torso, so you don't get a ton of range there, but you do get a okay rotation. It catches on something, but it's still fine. Also, if you rip the top of the head off, you can actually rotate the mono eye in there, though it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Shoulders are on a forward hinge, surprisingly. They can also wiggle up and down a little bit, but you're not getting a crazy amount of stuff out of that. Shoulder armor is a separate piece entirely, which is on its own separate hinge. Then the shoulder is a universal joint, including a bicep rotation, single jointed elbow for 90 degrees, and the hands, as always, are on a ball joint. The torso is a ball joint and then a swivel for the waist, so surprisingly really good articulation for how chunky this is. Front skirts are, well, technically they're side skirts because the ball joints attach in over here, but you can move them completely out of the way, so no problem at all getting a high kick if you don't mind breaking the sculpt horribly. Doesn't get too far to the back because solid back skirt, but yeah, still not bad. There is actually a side-to-side rotation in here for a little bit more range too, though the hip itself is just a ball joint. Still 45 degrees out to the side, which, given the skirt, you don't really want more than that. Double jointed knee, which honestly you can't even really get full use out of, but it's there. And the ankles are a forward-back, side-to-side hinge up in the leg itself, and then a ball joint down here, which is slightly offset so that you can get more in than out. So, my opinion hasn't changed. The Gelgoog hasn't changed. The only thing they could really add to this is a second joint in the elbows. Everything else is completely fine. Now, getting into accessories, there's not a lot for the cannon, and if you want to see the ones for the regular Gelgoog, I mean, I'll go over the spare parts later, but you can go watch my Char review, like I said. Start with something that is actually different, the sticker sheet, because this actually has multiple heads. Get cameras for both. Weirdly, you can build all 4 heads. Well, the thing is, they only give you 2 eyepieces. Don't really know what's up with that, but they expect you to swap the top part, I guess, but I don't know, it's still weird. They do thankfully give you standalone mono eyes, which is what I did. I painted the part black and then used the sticker. The impressive thing is, there's no paint on this, aside from the black, which you have a sticker for anyway. Base Gelgoog, you have to paint the inside of the shield gray, but with this, it's all bare plastic aside from a little bit of black in those thrusters, which isn't really necessary. I guess I probably could have put black in the other ones too, thinking about it, but it doesn't matter. Don't have to paint the cockpit hatch, which is something that you do on the Char one. This is actually really nice. It's nice that you don't have to do a bunch of color correction on something for once. Now, the thing is, most of the accessories are mounted on this thing. So let's start with the hands. 2 holding hands. Same problem the regular Gelgoog has, where this is not very tight in them. But you do get a nice open splayed hand and trigger finger hand. Nothing to use for the trigger finger hand with this one, unless you want to give it the gun too anyway, but not a big deal. The beam naginata, which you just plug in. Pop the fingers off of one of the hands. I guess this one. Close it around it, and it holds it about as tight as you expect. Just a little blue tack would fix that, but still a little bit weird that it is that loose. Otherwise, you have the buckler on this side, which is literally just extra armor. The I was going to say grenade, but this is a mobile suit. Those are missiles. 3-tube missile launcher mounted on this arm, and then you have the big beam cannon over the shoulder. Oh, also these are slightly articulated for some reason. I don't... Okay. This, I understand. It makes sense to be able to get this up out of the way. As for those spare parts, pretty much every runner in here has extra parts on it. Because obviously you get, you know, a rifle, which at the center that's supposed to be pink too. I don't know why it's not painted on this. Shield, which, yeah, that gray needs to be painted. Get the different parts for the arms, the different heads, and yeah, you get 4 different head options. I mean, 2 with the bottom half and then 2 different top bits. A little bit of a weird choice, but whatever. Being able to make commander types of either version is nice, so I can't really complain there. One nice thing about this, though, is that because it comes with the parts for both versions of the Gelgoog, you could, if you wanted, make your own custom Gelgoog. A personal machine or something. Basically, you could swap out some parts, give it a regular head if you wanted, give it a regular arm so it can have the shield, you know, give it the rifle if you want. And as for a quick size comparison, the Gelgoog is a pretty chunky suit. Not only is it a good head taller than the Gundam, it's like twice as wide. So, to wrap this review up, I like the Gelgoog Cannon. It has good colors. The nubs are not too bad. I mean, they're about as bad as the original Char's Gelgoog that I reviewed years ago. The High Grade Gelgoog has great articulation. It's a well-engineered kit. The sculpt is really nice, and I mean, the Gelgoog is a really charming design anyway. The cannon parts are nice and differentiated and make it interesting enough that I can appreciate it. I like that the cannon parts are a different gray to the armor of the Gelgoog, so they actually, you know, pop. Do wish the hands held the beam naginata a little bit better, but I also wish it had a right open hand so it could brace the beam cannon on its shoulder when it's firing it, but I mean, that's just an aesthetic thing. It's not like it has to do that or anything. Even with these older kits, Bandai's kind of allergic of giving you hand options. They only really did that for a couple gyms. And that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe and hit the bell to be alerted for future reviews. Come chill in the Discord. Follow me on Twitter, if that's even still around. And consider supporting me on Patreon so I can keep bringing you videos like this. And, as always, until next time, happy building.